Hi, in this video I want to show you how to create a background design like this in Photoshop. I'm going to teach you. I found it on Pinterest. I came across this design which caught my attention and I thought I'd try it myself and create this design. For this design we needed some assets which I created using artificial intelligence, and then I did the design manually in Photoshop. I think this tutorial can be a really good case study to show how we can efficiently use AI tools in the design process. So for this project I used the assets that I had created. The prompts for creating those assets, I have carefully written them all down, and you can easily get them directly from the official Telegram channel and use them yourself. To create the images, I also used the FreePic website and the Nano Pro model. Of course, you can use other websites and different models as well, as you can see. For this design, we needed 4 images. One was a winter forest, another was a high contrast side profile portrait, a conceptual image, which is our main image, and one image of birds in flight. Alright, let's get back to the design. As you can see in this design, the forest section has been used in a masked form. Similarly, the birds in the portrait we have here are also fully masked. For the main image, and in addition, this mask is placed on a simple background. Now, in the artwork we're about to create, we want to implement almost the same thing with a few adjustments. Some minor changes, for example. For instance, this winter forest should look a bit more realistic and not just be a simple mask. In addition, the profile image we had of the portrait should have its details a bit more defined so that the double exposure effect is more apparent. Alright, let's go ahead and create this design again. I'm going to make a duplicate of this document and completely delete the design folder. As you can see, right now we have just one background. It's a simple one, a solid color with low saturation and high brightness. And there's also a folder that contains all 3 of our texts. Now let's move on to adding the extra layer to the design. This extra layer is the one related to the winter forest. I'm going to copy this layer in. I place it into our main file and convert it to a smart object. I will carefully adjust its overall size and precise position to perfectly fit exactly what we specifically need. So, as you can see, right now this layer doesn't blend well with the background. In other words, the contrast between the background and the sky in the forest image is very noticeable. To fix this, all you need to do is double-click on the forest layer so the layer style window opens, and then adjust this slider to achieve the blending effect we're aiming for, so that the desired effect happens. On this same layer, I create a mask, and using a brush with black color and medium opacity, I start painting with medium opacity. I carefully mask around the very edges of the entire image to effectively remove that undesirable sharpness that often appears around the final finished edges. The second photo we need to import is our portrait photo. I copy this image as well and place it inside the main image. We convert it into a smart object. We resize it to make it smaller according to what we want. I will now double click on this particular smart layer so that the entire layer opens up completely and is ready for editing. From the main select menu, I then carefully choose the option for subject, and subsequently I click on the mask icon. This action ensures that we are left with only the primary subject itself, isolated and perfectly selected. I press Ctrl+S to save it, then I close this and return to our main scene. On this same layer related to our pulse, I create a layer mask. With the brush tool, you slightly blur and fade the lower part. Okay, the next object we need to import. This, you see, is my primary and most important main object. So we will carefully copy this particular object as well, and then, with precision, turn it into a very useful and adaptable smart object. We will then meticulously adjust its overall size to perfectly fit within my current composition, and finally clip it precisely to the designated portrait layer. So, in order to truly ensure that this particular object perfectly matches the overall color and the ambient lighting of my entire composition, I meticulously go into this dedicated smart layer and then carefully add a brand new hue saturation adjustment layer. I then proceed to gently lower the saturation until only a very subtle bit of its original inherent color still shows through. And finally, I precisely use the hue slider to accurately adjust the light and the color as specifically needed for the scene, so I can achieve the look I want that matches my composition. Now, what I really need to do at this particular moment is to add a brand new mask to this specific layer. Then, using the brush tool with low opacity, I bring back some of the opacity in parts of our portrait, so that the resulting image acquires a subtle touch of that captivating double exposure effect. Now it's time for our last layer, which is for the birds. I'll copy this layer as well. Convert it to a smart object. Go into this layer and from the menu select Subject, because I don't need the background of this image. And finally, I click on the mask so it turns into a mask. Now, by carefully resizing and precisely moving it, I'll place it exactly where I want it to be positioned. For this layer too, if you feel it's necessary, you can create a mask and hide the parts you don't want. Hide them. I think it's a good idea here to make this layer related to our bird a bit bigger. And also, you can move it down just a little bit more. That should be perfectly good and acceptable. If you enjoyed this tutorial, I'd be happy if you support it with a like and a comment. And if you're interested in these tutorials, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos.